Welcome you all. This session is a continuation of the previous video where I have explained about the thyristor types. So the next thyristor type which is available is bidirectional triode thyristors, otherwise called as triac. Okay, this is nothing but two thyristors, as you can see, two thyristors connected in antiparallel. It has three terminals, that is MT2, main terminal 2, main terminal 1, that is MT1, and the gate terminal. So this triac can conduct in both the directions and is normally used in AC phase control. So it has a common gate, and you can observe the structure, the construction of this construction of the triac. So this why we name it as MT2, MT1 and gate, that is since there are two thyristors, we cannot name it as anode and cathode. So we name it as MT2, MT1 and gate terminal. So this particular, this is the characteristics of the triac. So if that triac can be turned on by different ways, that is if the terminal MT2 is positive with respect to MT1, the triac can be turned on by applying a positive gate signal between the gate and the terminal MT1. Similarly, if terminal MT2 is negative with respect to MT1, it is turned on by applying a negative gate signal between the gate and MT1. So it is not necessary to have both polarities of gate signal. So a triac can be turned on either with the positive gate signal or the negative gate signal. So the it depends. So depending upon the polarity of the gate signal as well as the main terminal, the conduction, it varies from one quadrant to another quadrant, usually either in the first quadrant or in the third quadrant. So this is the triac or the bidirectional triode thyristors. Next is the gate turn-off thyristors. So the gate turn-off thyristor, it's like an SCR. If we can turn it on by applying a positive gate signal, but unlike an SCR, this can be turned off by applying a negative gate signal, whereas we cannot turn off SCR, but a GTO we can turn it off by applying a negative gate signal. That means to say this GTO is a non-latching device and it can be built with the current and voltage ratings which is similar to those of an SCR. So a GTO, we can turn it on by applying a short positive pulse and we can turn it off by applying a short negative pulse to the gate. So this GTO is, this is the symbol of GTO, and this is the equivalent circuit. You have an NPN transistor as well as a PNP transistor. So this GTO has both the advantages as well as some of the limitations when compared to the SCR. So the advantages over SCR is the first is elimination of the commutating components. That is in the case of forced commutation. Forced commutation we need not have, as since the thyristor turn off its on can turn off by applying a negative gate signal, we need not have any external components. So it will reduce the size as well as it will reduce the cost. Okay. Next is a reduction in the acoustic and electromagnetic noise due to elimination of chokes. So the commutation circuit will obviously have a choke coil. So here, since it is not required, it will reduce the noise, and it will allow faster turn off, and it can permit high switching speed as compared to the SCR, as well as it will lead to an a very high efficiency compared to SCR. So efficiency of the converter will be improved if you use a GTO over SCR. So this GTO also has some of the advantages over BJT. That is, compared to BJT, it has a higher voltage blocking capability, as well as the pulsed gate signal to turn on it is very small. It need not be a continuous signal, and the on-state gain is also very high, around 600, and a high ratio of peak surge current to average current is achieved in the case of GTO compared to BJT. So the disadvantages of GTOs are it has a high on-state voltage drop, and since the gate signal is required both to turn on as well as turn off, the gate losses, gate drive losses are also more, and its reverse blocking capability is less compared to the forward blocking capacity. These GTOs are mainly used in voltage source converters in which a very fast recovery anti-parallel diode is required. Okay, and these type of GTOs are also known as asymmetric GTOs. Next is a reverse conducting thyristor, that is RCT. So in many converters and inverter circuits, we will have an anti-parallel diode connected across an SCR, that is to allow a reverse current flow due to the inductive load and in order to improve the turn off requirement of the commutating circuit. So what is the function of this diode which is connected across the SCR? So the diode, it clamps the reverse blocking voltage of the SCR to around 1 or 2 volts under the steady state conditions, whereas under the transient condition the reverse voltage may rise to around 30 volt due to the induced voltage in the circuit stray inductance within the device. So this RCT is nothing but a compromise done between the device characteristics and the circuit requirements. So sometimes nothing but we can consider it as a built-in anti-parallel diode which is present across the thyristor. So this RCT is also called as asymmetrical thyristor. So what is the forward blocking voltage? So forward blocking voltage is around 400 to 2000 volt, whereas the current rating can go up to 500 amperes. And the reverse blocking voltage capability is around 30 to 40 volt. So these RCTs are not widely used. It is application specific only. It is used for limited applications. So next is the static induction thyristor, that is SITH. So this SITH is also also known as the field controlled diode. Okay, so this is a minority carrier device. Since it is a minority carrier device, it has a low on-state resistance or voltage drop, and it can be made to withstand a very high voltage as well as current. And the advantages, it has a fast switching speed and high di by dt and dv by dt capability. So what is the switching time? Switching time is in the order of 1 to 6 microseconds, whereas the voltage rating can go up to 2500 volt and the current rating is limited to around 500 amperes. So what is the turn on process? So the turn on process is the SITH is turned on by applying a positive gate voltage with respect to the cathode, whereas a turn off process is by applying a negative gate voltage with respect to a cathode. So if there are sufficiently negative voltage applied to the gate, the depletion layer will form, so that a potential barrier is created and there is no movement of the carriers, thereby it turns off. So this is about the static induction thyristors. Next, coming to the light activated silicon controlled rectifiers, that is LASCR. So as the name implies, this particular type of thyristor is turned on by applying the light. So it will conduct when light is made to fall on it. So this design, the construction should be such a way that the gate structure should be sensitive enough for triggering with the light signal. And this is especially used in high voltage and high current applications. For example, in the HVDC transmission and static reactive power. And the rating, it is very high, usually around 4 kilovolt, and the current rating can be limited up to 1500 amperes as compared to 500 amperes of the other devices. Di by dt rating is around 250 amperes per microseconds, and dV by dt rating is around 2000 volt per microseconds. So next is the FET controlled thyristor. So FET, field effect transistor controlled thyristor. That means to say you have a MOSFET. It is nothing but a combination of the MOSFET as well as a thyristor. So you can see in the diagram there is a enhancement type MOSFET N type, as well as there is a thyristor which is connected. So this particular FET controlled thyristor has a rating of around, that is we need to apply a voltage typically around 3 volt. So it has a high switching speed, it has high di by dt and high dv by dt. So it can be turned on like conventional thyristor, but it cannot be turned off by gate control. So this type of thyristors are mainly used where optical firing is required, so that we can provide the electrical isolation between the input or the control signal and the switching device of the power converters. Okay. So this MTO is nothing but MOS turn-off thyristor is a combination of GTO and MOSFET, which together it overcomes the limitations of the GTO turn-off ability. So the main drawback of GTO is that it requires a high pulse current to turn off the thyristor, which is around 35% of the current which needs to be controlled. So the MTO, what it does is it provides the functionality similar to that of GTO, but the turn off current what is required is only a very low level, so that it is just required to turn on and turn off the MOS transistors. So its structure is similar to that of GTO, and the voltage and current ratings can be similarly up to around 10 kilovolt and current of around 4000 amperes, which is similar to that of the GTO. And it is used in high power applications which ranges from 1 to 20 MVA. So turn on, it can be turned on by applying a gate current, whereas to turn off the MTO, a gate pulse voltage is applied to the MOSFET gate terminal. MOS controlled thyristor, it combines the features of regenerative 4-layer thyristor and a MOS gate structure. So it is nothing but an improvement of a thyristor combined with the pair of MOSFETs which is used to turn on and turn off. So we can see that the structure. So this is the structure of the MCT, and this is the diagram equivalent circuit. So you can observe it has a N-channel MOSFET, it has a P-channel MOSFET, as well as it has a two transistors. One is NPN and the other one is PNP. So it is nothing but a combination of your transistor as well as the MOSFET. So the it is nothing but the structure. It has NPN transistor Q1, PNP transistor Q2, P-channel MOSFET which is M1, and N-channel MOSFET which is M2. So the turn-on process is when a P-channel MCT is in the forward blocking state, we can turn it on by applying a negative pulse to its gate with respect to the anode. When an N-channel MCT is in the forward blocking state, we can turn it on by applying a positive pulse to the gate with respect to the cathode. So in MCT, it will remain in the on state until the device current is reversed or a turn off pulse is applied to its gate. Similarly, the turn off process is when a P channel MCT is in the on state, we can turn it off by applying a positive pulse to its gate with respect to the anode. When an N channel MCT is in the on state, we can turn it off by applying a negative pulse to its gate with respect to the cathode. So this MCT can be operated as a gate control device if its current is less than the peak controllable current. So it has the features like a low forward voltage drop during conduction, a faster turn on time around 0.4 microseconds, as well as a fast turn off time of around 1.25 microseconds. It has a low reverse voltage blocking capability and it has a high gate input impedance. All these features is actually very good compared to the other devices. So it can achieve a faster switching speed as well. So this is regarding the MOS controlled thyristor. Then coming to the ETOs, ETO is emitter turn off thyristor. It is a MOS and GTO hybrid device. It combines the advantages of both the GTO as well as the MOSFET. So an ETO is turned on by applying a positive voltage to the gate, whereas a turn off we apply a negative voltage to the gate signal. So both the MOSFET as well as the GTO, it is not subjected to the high voltage. Okay, so whatever the advantages and the disadvantages of the GTO and MOSFET are there, it is combined together and ETO is formed. So this is all about the different type of thyristors which are available.